Hi everybody and welcome to my channel, and here are my predictions for this weekend's Premiership matches. Let's start with Liverpool versus Chelsea. Well, both these teams are not having a very good season at the moment. I did predict that at the start of the season Liverpool would finish second, but it doesn't look like they're going to. And Chelsea, I predicted them to finish in the top four, but doesn't look like it's going to happen for Chelsea. So far, Liverpool have won 8, lost 6. Chelsea have won 8, lost 7. And at the moment, Liverpool are 9th and Chelsea at 10th. This one I'm going to go for Liverpool 1, Chelsea 0. I'm going to go for Liverpool to win 1-0. Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest. Well, Bournemouth at the moment are 17th, and Nottingham Forest, they're 13th. They've won their last few games, Nottingham Forest. I did predict at the start of the season that Bournemouth would be relegated, and I'm still going to stick with that prediction. And I'd also predicted that Nottingham Forest would go down as well. I think sooner or later, Forest are gonna slip down the table again. I'm still gonna tip Forest. I think Forest will probably finish about fourth from bottom. Anyway, Bournemouth so far have won 4, lost 11. Forest have won 5 and lost 9. In this one, I'm going to go for Bournemouth 0, Nottingham Forest 2. Nottingham Forest to win 2-0. Leicester City versus Brighton. Leicester are 14th and Brighton are 7th. Leicester not having a very good season. They've only won 5 and lost 12. Brighton, they won 9 and lost 6. And of course, Brendan Rodgers is another manager who's under pressure at the moment. And I can't see results improving for Leicester from now to the end of the season. In this one, I'm going to go for Leicester 1, Brighton 3. I'm going to go for Brighton to win 3-1. Southampton versus Aston Villa. Well, Southampton had a good result last weekend against Everton. They beat Everton. And Villa, who did they play last week? I think they lost, didn't they? I don't know who they played last week. Well, anyway, Southampton at the moment are bottom. Villa are 11th. And of course, Southampton, you can see the reason why Southampton are where they are. They've only won 4 and lost 12. Villa have won 7 and lost 8. This one, I'm going to go for Southampton 2, Villa 1. Southampton to win 2-1. West Ham versus Everton. Well, West Ham are 18th and Everton are 19th. David Moyes and Frank Lampard are 2 more managers who were in trouble. West Ham, they've won the last 4 and lost 12. Everton have won 3 and lost 10. I think one of these managers will be sacked tomorrow. Whoever loses, they saying that it might be David Moyes, but I don't think so. I think David Moyes will live to fight another day. I think it'll be Frank Lampard. You know, I think if Everton lose tomorrow, then he'll be gone. I'm afraid Frank Lampard is out of his depth managing a Premiership team. Of course, Chelsea sacked him, and it looks like he might get the sack tomorrow. I mean, West Ham have only won 4, they've lost 12, whereas Everton have won 3 and lost 10. In this one, I'm going to go for West Ham 1, Everton 0. Although saying that, knowing Everton, they'll probably go and win. But anyway, I'm going to go for West Ham to win 1-0. Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. Crystal Palace are 12th, and Newcastle are 4th. It looks like Newcastle might be finishing the top 4 at the end of the season, but of course there's still a long way to go. And of course, Crystal Palace drew the other night with Manchester United, and Newcastle beat Fulham last weekend. And of course, Crystal Palace have only won 6, lost 8, whereas Newcastle, they've won 10 and lost 1. In this one, I'm going to go for Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle 1. Newcastle to win 1-0. Leeds United versus Brentford. Leeds are 15th and Brentford are 8th. And Leeds so far have won 4, lost 9, whereas Brentford, they've won 7 and lost 4. I'm going to go for Leeds 2, Brentford 3. Brentford to win 3-2. Manchester City versus Wolves. Well, Manchester City is 2nd and Wolves are 16th. And of course, Manchester City won last night and Wolves won last weekend. Manchester City so far have won 13 and lost 3. Wolves have won 4 and lost 10. I mean, you can see the reason why Wolves are struggling this season. I don't think they'll go down. They'll probably just manage to survive, but it'll be a bit of a struggle for Wolves to avoid relegation, but they'll probably just avoid it. In this one, I'm going to go for Manchester City 2, Wolves 0. Arsenal versus Manchester United. Well, 1st versus 3rd. Of course, Arsenal last weekend beat Tottenham, and Manchester United beat Manchester City. Arsenal so far this season have won 15 and lost 1, whereas Manchester United have won 12 and lost 4. I think this match will probably be a draw. I'm going to go for Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. Monday's match, Fulham versus Tottenham. Well, Tottenham are 5th and Fulham are 6th. I did tip Fulham to go down at the start of the season, but looks like I'm going to be proved wrong. And Tottenham, of course, they lost to Arsenal last weekend, and the Tottenham fans are, at the start of the season, were getting excited about they might win the Premiership, but they won't. If you take Harry Kane and Son out of Tottenham, then I'm afraid Tottenham will be a mid-table team, although more likely to be trying to avoid relegation if those two weren't playing for Tottenham. In this one, I'm going to go for Fulham 2, Tottenham 1. I'm going to go for Fulham to win 2-1. Well, that's the end of my predictions for the Premiership. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all again in another video.